What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more r/my the butthole. Oh god. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along a timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as I can never express how much of a difference clicking that like button and getting involved really does make a difference to this channel. Thank you so much for being awesome, and let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. Now, our first story comes from Buzzy Love Bees Buzz, called "Am I the Arsehole for wanting to keep my bees even though my new neighbor's son is highly allergic to them?" I have been keeping bees as a hobby for 6 years now. I have 4 hives in my suburban backyard, along with a large garden. My hives are all properly registered and are legal to keep in my town as of right now. The problem is that my new neighbors have asked me to get rid of my bees. They purchased the house and moved in over the winter and hadn't noticed my girls until this spring. Apparently their son is highly allergic to bee stings. He has been hospitalized more than once and has had to carry an EpiPen. They asked nicely but seemed a little upset when I said I don't think I could do that. They didn't push the issue with me further, but I saw a rant on Nextdoor that I'm sure was written by them. Sometime after that, some of the bee-hating Nextdoor people went to our town board and tried to get beekeeping outlawed in our town. Luckily it didn't pass, and they had mentioned in the minutes that current beekeepers would have to be grandfathered in if it did. Because of that, I am even more wary of giving it up in case they do bring this legislation up again. If I have active hives, I can keep them. My neighbors and I really aren't on speaking terms now. Am I the arsehole for wanting to keep doing my hobby? And then there is a little edit which we'll cover straight away, which says, "Edit, thank you for your input, everyone. Since many have suggested this, I do already have security cameras in place, all around my house and pointing directly at the hives. You cannot access the hives without spending significant amount of time on video. The hives are also behind locked fences. I just purchased a sign to put on their gate saying, 'This area is under video surveillance,' and will be affixing that to their gate ASAP. By their gate, I mean the bees gate." And on this one, we're going to start off with Dreaded BD, who says, "Not the arsehole. It wasn't unreasonable of them to ask. Nor were they the arseholes until they started a rant on Nextdoor and tried to legislate against your hobby and pets. You were there first. You didn't move your hives, you just winterized them. They were still in your yard. Plenty of people are allergic to bees, and they go about their activities with caution and an EpiPen." And Music Lover 273 says, "I want to be clear that this is not your fault. Beekeeping is a good hobby, one that helps us all out. Buying a home next to yours isn't theirs either, unless there was some sign that you had bees on your property. This is just a series of unfortunate circumstances. I can't really call them the arseholes when their son could be hospitalized or worse. That's terrifying. I can't exactly tell you all to move. Therefore, I will say, no one's an arsehole here." And Lux Strict says, "No one's an arsehole here, but as someone with anaphylactic reactions, I feel a lot of empathy for the family. The bees aren't staying on your property. This poor kid's yard is totally unsafe for him. It's sad." And FMIEB says, "Not the arsehole. Bees fly up to 3 miles for their hive to forage. They are everywhere and good for the environment. If it doesn't bother them, then they're unlikely to bother him." And Larissa replies to this one. I thought I'd read this because it seemed relevant. "Look, I'm a former beekeeper. I love bees, but let's not pretend that there won't be many more bees near their hive. That's ridiculous. There'll be far more bees in OP's neighbor's yard than there would be without the hives. Thousands and thousands more. And bees get very pissy, read aggressive, in the late summer/early fall." And Tammy says, "No one's an arsehole here, but I've got to say I've never heard of someone keeping bees in the suburbs with the houses 25 feet apart. There's no way the new neighbors could have anticipated that. I personally would feel like an arsehole continuing a hobby that could kill the neighbor's kid." Helpful Thought says, "Not the arsehole, and I would look into cameras to watch the hives. People do stupid things to get what they want, and since the proper channels failed, they might try something drastic like to poison the hives." And we'll have one more from Cake Is Really Good, great name, who says, "No one is an arsehole here. My uncle was in a similar position. The neighbour was highly allergic and he had several beehives. What he did was find people in the neighbourhood with nice gardens and asked them if they wanted the hives in their yards. He maintained them and got the honey. They got their plants pollinated. It worked out great. Now, what do you guys make of this situation? There's a whole bunch of different opinions on this one. And I think I can personally see both sides. You know, if you randomly moved into someone who had beehives and your kid was allergic, you would be concerned, wouldn't you? Because like the beekeeper said in the comments, that there's going to be more bees simply because there's hives right next door to you. But at the same time, this person had the hives to begin with and they moved next to them. Whew. What do you guys make of this one? Let me know in the comments below and we'll move on to the next story. And our next story comes from East Variety. Am I the arsehole for telling my friend her birthday is annoying? My 19 female friend, 18 female, celebrates her birthday for an entire week, every year. She grew up really spoiled and still is, to be honest, and she says it's normal. Her reasoning is she has too many friends, so she can't see them all in the same day, and she doesn't want to mix her friend groups for a big party, so she just goes out with everyone separately for an entire week. I'm not jealous or anything, but it's ridiculous. She'll basically be unavailable that entire week because she has to see everyone, and also acts like a princess all the time, but it's especially prominent during birthday week. On her birthday, like the actual day, she even wears one of those blingy tiaras as part of her outfit. She was definitely one of those girls that brings balloons to school on her birthday. Also, she posts Instagram stories to thank everyone for their gifts and time. Like, we don't care your dad got you a car or whatever. And she gets upset if someone she thought she was close with forgets her birthday. She won't lash out or tell them or anything, but she'll be like, wow, so-and-so forgot. Anyways, all this is really childish, and I told her that her birthday week is extremely childish and annoying and that I won't be participating, and she said it's fine, but she stopped replying to my texts or answering my calls to hang out. I think she's upset, even though she tried to pass it off as it's fine. Reddit, am I the arsehole? ETA, the problem is her birthday is always over the top and everyone makes a huge deal of it. Oh, it's her name's birthday next week, we better be obnoxious and not shut up about it. Also, if gifts don't matter to her, why is she posting about it rather than thanking the people in private and over text? And that was obviously an answer to one of the comments we're going to read below in a second. And at first I was reading this and I was like, yeah, it does sound a bit over the top, celebrating the whole birthday week, and I kind of saw what OP was talking about. But then I took a step back and I thought, well, it seems to me like she really values the relationships in her life and she wants them to be a part of her celebrating, and she doesn't want to mix friend groups because sometimes they're not compatible, and I do understand that partially. And then took a step back even further and I just thought, well, this person is living their best life. Sure, it might come a bit over the top to some people and stuff like that, but they're absolutely loving their life. They got themselves a birthday week. Who doesn't want a birthday week? I wonder if they have cake every day. I'm all for that, let me tell you that much. So I kind of like then thought, well, yeah, it does kind of come across as a bit jealousy type, doesn't it really? Because you're putting her down for just enjoying her birthday, enjoying her relationship with her friends, and her just wanting a birthday week. Why not? And I'm very happy to accept if I am wrong in this situation as well, and it would make me the arsehole. But I'm all for someone that's enjoying their life and, you know, just enjoying themselves basically. So let's go to some of the comments to see what they say, and we'll start off with your angel or your devil saying, you're the arsehole. It sounds like your friend isn't intentionally hurting anyone. She might even be trying to accommodate everyone by spacing out different means of celebrating her birthday across a week, so that everyone can get a more personalized time with her. How you attempt to justify your perception that she acts like a princess during that time also comes down to her seemingly being excited about turning a new age and maybe having a big personality. It seems like your friend's way of celebrating what she considers a significant event and how she expresses herself isn't for you, and that's okay. Yet, it can be rude and potentially unexpected to push your judgments on her about your birthday. That doesn't have to concern you if you don't want it to do so. All in all, her birthday or birthday week isn't about you, and it's not supposed to be. She's worthy of all kinds of celebration she desires rather than the lack thereof you want for her. Saluki Queen says, you're the arsehole, you do sound jealous. It's 1 week a year and you don't even have to be a part of it since she's basically unavailable for the week. You don't have to participate, so just send your gift, bow out of the events, and temporarily hide her on SM. It's not that big of a deal. Let her enjoy her birthday. And we'll have one more from Dello Drills, who says, "You're the arsehole. Your friend is allowed to celebrate their birthday however they want. None of the stuff you listed seems so horrendous to me that you have to throw such a fit. Not wanting to mix different groups of friends? It's normal. They all have different dynamics and maybe won't get along so nicely. Wearing a blingy tiara? If they like it, why not? It's their birthday. Those girls that bring balloons to school on their birthday. Seems like cool girls, to be honest, making the day a bit fancier. They thank everyone for their gifts. Seems kind. She is upset that someone who thought is close with her forgets her birthday. Seems like a normal reaction to me. She may feel a bit hurt because their friend forgot a simple date, which she values a lot. Then you blew up at her, shaming her way to celebrate and give off a negative vibe. You seem immensely petty. Now, what do you guys make of this one? Would you be upset if one of your friends acted in this sort of way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and we'll move on to the next story. And our next story comes from The Green Twin. Am I the arsehole for telling my twin that she should have worked on herself instead of expecting me to let myself go for her wedding? My twin sister May and I are identical. At the end of our first year of college, I was in a car accident and I ended up with a facial scar and major trauma. I started seeing a therapist because of the nightmares and the fact that I was panicking anytime I got into a car. That led to me realizing there were some deeper issues which we worked on. As part of that work, I got a physical, started working with a dietitian to fix my diet and the smorgasbord of vitamin deficiencies it caused. I started working out, strength training 3 days and sprints of HIIT or 3, with our older sis. By the end of our first year of college, we had each gained about 30 pounds. By the end of the next year, I had lost half of it, but I was smaller at 134 pounds than my previous 120 because of the muscle mass. And that's been my size for the past half decade. I found a new beautician and she gave me long layers to make my natural curls be curls instead of waves of frizz I always wanted but that my old one said would look bad and refused. I stopped bleaching it and let it go natural dark blonde and light brown. I stopped spray tanning, again, that's been my look for the past 5 years. I live in a rural area and the internet isn't great. Things like FaceTime just aren't options and I can't post a lot of pics on social media because of it. This is relevant because my big issue is that May didn't see me over the quarantine. We talked on the phone a couple of times a week, but it mostly revolved around her wedding planning. She got engaged before the Rona put us on lockdown. I wasn't a maid of honor, so mostly I was being told decisions, not involved in the process. When it came to the bridesmaids' dresses, May sent our sister-in-law, and me a link and told us to get it in our size. Same with hair and makeup, but we had to arrange for a beautician because May's wouldn't do more than 4, and she wanted her friends at the appointment with her. Except she didn't do a bachelorette party with us. She did with her friends, or rehearsal dinner, so May didn't see any of us until the start of the wedding. She was livid. Apparently she thought we would have stopped working out because of the Rona, even thought we did it at home, or that we should have stopped when she announced her engagement, so we didn't upstage her. She was mad because I didn't try to hide my scar and didn't tan, thought it would be implied. She made several snide remarks before throwing a drunk temper tantrum at the reception, basically accusing the 3 of us, but me especially, of trying to upstage her. I didn't have that excuse because I was a DD, so sober, but I, quite famously, have a low tolerance for angry or crying drunks. I told her, if you're so insecure, you should have got off your ass instead of expecting us to lay on ours to make yours look better. It only got worse. Our family is on my side because I didn't start it or do anything, but his family is on hers and are giving me shit. So, am I the arsehole? Can we get a bridezilla in the chat below? Oh my word, where do you start with this? So she was expecting you to turn up, having gained extra weight and not worked on yourself at all. I just don't understand the logic. I try, as I always say it multiple times in a story, in a video, that I never understand people's life. I tried to get in people's shoes and trying to think, how could anyone think that, I want that person to have, not worked on themselves or put on extra weight so they don't make me look bad. I don't understand the logic. And your twin sister's just made a complete fool of herself in this situation. This is your sister, your twin sister, someone you're meant to have a close bond with, I assume. And it's just, oh yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. It's just wound me up. I don't know what they were expecting. 100% not the arsehole. It sounds like you put a lot of work into yourself through therapy and physically, so well done for you for doing that. It's been an absolute shit couple of years, and well done for you for, looking after yourself. Very, very positive in my opinion, and I'm all for it. And we'll start off with 1 star who says, a wedding day is probably the day where your sister should have been the center of attention. Well, she did an exceptional job of that. Not everyone will remember her as a bridezilla. Not the arsehole at all, but I would suggest she works on herself. Maybe appoint a therapy session for both of you to improve this relationship. If you both want, of course. And Careful Bumblebee says, not the arsehole, your sister sounds like a majorly entitled bridezilla. How were none of you, her bridesmaids, not invited to the bachelorette or the rehearsal dinner? What the fuck? Yeah, I was curious about that as well. Is there something deeper going on that we're not seeing in this story, like about the sister not liking her other sister for some other reason? I don't know. Next comment. Marmalade Stripe says, not the arsehole. If a bride wants to look good for her wedding, she needs to work on herself and not expect her bridesmaid to change just for her. Your sister is being incredibly childish for expecting you to let yourself go to make her look good. And her husband and his family are arseholes for getting in between sisters. And something or other says, not the arsehole. You went through a lot, and instead of being proud of you for facing your fears, your sister has been incredibly selfish. Seriously, it sounds like she wanted to get married just to feel good about herself, rather than because she truly loves someone. Has she always been like this? And one more from Ellie71 who are saying, not the arsehole, what on earth? Are you all supposed to rock up looking like baby beluga whales while Twiggy the bride is complimented on how thin and tan she is? And you have a scar from nearly dying. That's life. She should also be happy you aren't dead. But if you had been horribly burned or otherwise disfigured completely, if you had a missing arm, would you be a bridesmaid? She's really vain and not nice. Girl, you do you. Just look in the mirror and be proud of yourself. And here's a tip for your curly hair. We love a hair tip here. I found this on my naturally curly hair, and it's been a magical transformation. Cantu Natural Hair Shampoo and Conditioner, the Cantu Curl Activator, the Twist and Lock Gel, and the Super Shine Gloss. It's not nearly as expensive as all the others I've tried. Just a tip from one curly girl to another. Hashtag not sponsored, by the way. But there's a tip for you guys. Anyway, what do you guys make of today's collection of stories? What are your verdicts on today's stories if you choose to share them? As always, there's never any pressure here to share them. But if you do have a moment, please consider clicking that like button. It is hugely appreciated. Huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for being involved today in our little community, getting involved. Don't forget, we've got Discord as well, which you can come and join us in, have a chat with our lovely community. They are absolutely awesome in there. They're amazing people. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.